Wood turning is an exciting hobby that requires an understanding of proper machine operation, tool use, and correct wood turning techniques. In order for you to get the most enjoyment out of wood turning, it's important to follow some simple safety guidelines that will help keep you safe. Let's review them now. First, ensure you wear a full face shield to protect against flying debris, along with a good dust mask or air filtration system. Also wear adequate hearing protection and never wear loose clothing, gloves, or any object that could become entangled in the lathe. When setting up the workpiece, ensure that it's securely mounted and free of imperfections or substandard glue joints. Make certain that all guards and covers are in place and that all tightening handles are properly tightened. Also, never start the lathe before checking to make sure the lathe speed setting is correct for the size of work to be turned and that the work clears the lathe bed and tool rest. To determine a safe operating speed, divide the diameter of the blank into the number 6,000 to determine a safe minimum operating speed. Then divide the diameter of the blank into the number 9,000 to determine a safe maximum operating speed. Example: a bowl blank is 8 inches in diameter. 6,000 divided by 8 equals 750 RPM as a minimum lathe speed. 9,000 divided by 8 equals 1,125 RPM as a maximum lathe speed. Remember, when roughing a bowl, always start at the lower end of the recommended speed range and make sure to always run the lathe at slow speeds until the workpiece is in balance. Be sure to utilize the tailstock whenever possible and always keep your tools sharp and properly ground. Never use tools for purposes for which they are not intended, as this can cause the blade and/or handle to break, resulting in serious injury. And remember, roughing gouges are for spindle work only and should never be used on a bowl blank. It is also important to never leave the lathe running unattended, and you should always remove the tool rest before sanding and finishing to avoid injury to your hand and fingers. To prevent hazardous fumes, properly dispose of finishing rags and unused finishes, and do not leave finish containers open. Also, be sure to read and follow safety precautions on all finishes. Lastly, be sure to work within your limits. Don't try techniques beyond your skill level as they may be dangerous. And most of all, use common sense. If you're unsure, seek the advice of an expert and always take the necessary safety precautions to prevent serious injury. We hope you found these simple safety tips helpful and informative. For more helpful information, visit us online at woodturnerscatalog.com.